French culture. French culture has been around since the 17th century. It has become an ancient civilization with a mixture of various cultures of Rome, Jamaican, and Celtic. By having these mixed elements, it has become a part of French culture, influencing them to create their own language, arts, traditions, cuisine, fashions, and more. France has become one of the top cultures with a trade affairs based on the products they produced. By gaining much more money, they started to mix their sense of love and luxury into top brands known as Chanel, Christina Dior, Cartier, and more well-known expensive brands. This culture is known to be elegant. This makes them become high culture in the Renaissance. But how did they get to where they are now? What makes their culture unique and eye-catching? Some of their symbols is, one of the well-known symbols will be the French flag. It displays on many buildings, mainly sporting competitions and military parades. The French flag is known as a tricolored. It is known to have three vertical stripes of color that has been in existence since the 1700s. The white represents a monarchy. Blue and red symbolizes Paris, since it is one of their first cities. Paris, since it was one of the first cities that rose against the monarchy rules. The French national anthem was first composed in 1792 by Raoul de Lisle. It was around the time France had declared war in Austria. The anthem is called Marseillaise due to the help of troops from Marseille. When the war was declared, it first became a song for soldiers who fought in this war, and then became so popular the citizens began to sing it as well. Marianne. At town hall or at court of France, you will see Marianne wearing a sort of cap or a leather leaves. She is the woman that is at the De la Croix Liberty leading the people painting made in the 1830s revolution. She is a symbol of freedom, a leading figure many have the privilege to embody. The rooster. It became a symbol of France by the Latin word gullus that can mean both rooster and an inhabitation of gold. This symbol is one for pride. Many may think that the rooster is too weak to represent such an empire like France, but the people think otherwise. Another thing about the rooster is it is become the Great Seal of France, being the official seal of the French Revolution. It also has the initials SU that reminds the people of the suffrage universal in the 1800s. A woman sitting and leaning on a rotor and carved as a rooster is seen on the seal. The woman is holding a fasces that represents power of enforcement and punishment. The language of French is a blend of other languages. You can hear the fusions of language around the world like Germany, Belgium, Arabic, Italian, Chinese, and more, opening national diversity to the world. The French culture begins by its language. It is known to be its heart, a symbol of love and romance. It flows gently like a harmony in a blend of words. It is known to be a very difficult language because of how close sounding certain words can be, but once you understand and hear the difference, you will be able to understand more easily. Some of its values is its arts. The makeup of art has been a part of France for 10,000 of years, even having possession of the oldest cave paintings to ever be discovered. Painting in France became a portrait of religion, power of life, and more. That speaks to one deeply and sits there for a long period of time. These styles come from Greek and Rome, but later artists began to paint imagery of vivid colors and dynamic subjects, becoming more noticeable to others. By letting free of your mind and paint what would speak loudly, France had become the house and home of many famous paintings still known to this day. Cuisine. France values their food very much. This is because to them food is art. It is a celebration of life. They embrace this with passion to make every meal full of flavors and textures for your taste buds. Food speaks expressions, and passion, becoming a part of French culture. The beef will be blended with wine sauce, and every meal is decorated as a creative possibility. The national motto: Liberty, Equality, and Fraternity. The national French motto is one of their most valued cultures. It comes from Article 1 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. By following this motto, it becomes the core of French society. It is an example of what the people have the right to have, to be equal and united, setting their human rights. This motto is also written on the coat of arms that stands for French Republic. A laurel branch symbolizes victory and the oak branch symbolizes wisdom. Their norms. French culture is known to be polite and respectful. It is important to say bonjour when entering a store. It can be considered rude if you do not say hello or goodbye to a spokeskeeper working to serve you. Fashion is one of France's most extraordinary qualities. They present themselves as expensive and put together. They are the home of the most expensive brands, so you must show your respect to their home grounds and dress your best. While it is respectful to be polite to someone, try not to be too polite, like smiling. In France, being too smiley will send mixed signals of flirtation to a stranger you are passing by. You must respect France's art. By this you eat the food from the meal as it is. Everything that is made in the meal is important ingredients that make the flavor extraordinary. The chefs take their time perfecting this. If you ask to change it, you are insulting their work and time. Be mindful of how to address a lady based on their marriage status. If they are married, you must address them as Madame. And if they are not married, address them as Mademoiselle. This is to become more polite and become accustomed to their traditions. Material cultures. Films. France's art makers in paintings, clothing, and food, so of course they also take into making art from films. The French has used the creation of cinema to create global films culture that will mark the industry. The makers of cinematography were in France, giving some of the most famous French directors a chance to work from the very founders. France started using cinema as an art by telling stories that later became worldwide and opened many creators' visions for what to make in the future. Fashion. Fashion held elegancy and grace in France. The world of fashion revolves around France, becoming a symbol of style. You are given a chance to let yourself free and become your most self. Just to be respected, to be worshipped, because you are walking on the grounds of art, and one should not stop you. France has many unique products that makes many other countries want to have a part of. Because of their artistic designs and attention to flavors and food, it is a new experience to many others. France has a high importance of their product and still relies on artists to help them evolve in the modern world. By this information, it helps to understand that different places prioritize other things than where you were raised. If you think you want to experience a life of passion, love, and legacy, then France is your place to start. It is a place to embody yourself and grow into a stronger and confident person where no one will judge you but applaud your rise. That is all. I hope you have learned a bit more about the French culture. And hopefully I'm able to add this presentation to it. Thank you.